Okay, so this is a test. I think I've got it worked out. We'll see. All right. So today is a video about art and the poets in Scientology. Back in 1971, there was a booklet printed called Celebrity Center Poets 2. I don't know what happened to Celebrity Center Poets 1. Never did see it or find it. Certainly then is clarity of observation. Above this, blech. Okay, start from here. Hi everybody. As you can see, the gang is with me today. And I'm going to share with you some poetry and art. Now this was the Celebrity Center Poets 2, printed back in 1971. And so it has poetry and art by Scientologists from that time. Here's a little something from LRH, L. Ron Hubbard. Certainty, then, is clarity of observation. Above this, vitally so, is certainty of creation. Here's the artist. Here's the master. Here's the very great spirit. Okay. Art is a word which summarizes the quality of communication. L. Ron Hubbard. Here's the introduction. This is issue 2 of Celebrity Center Poets. Issue 1 was very successful and was enthusiastically received. Celebrity Center is swiftly expanding. 4 new branches exist: San Francisco, New York, Boston, and Toronto. The revitalization of the arts is accelerating. This is our addition to the flow. Further issues of the magazine will appear as needed, with the intention that this will be a quarterly magazine. For that, we will need more poems and subscriptions. Both are invited. You are the artists of the future. Your expansion as poets and beings is wanted. We, as artists, make the new civilization. Editor. And that was Russell Salomon. The assistant editor was Sal Princiata Jr. He was also the artist in what I'll show you. Herb did the photos. Okay. The typist was Hollis Tuffine. A culture is only as great as its dreams, and its dreams are dreamed by artists. L. Ron Hubbard. Celebrity Center, 1809 West 8th Street, Los Angeles, California, 90057. Now, I'm not going to read all of the poems to you, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, supposedly written by L. Ron Hubbard. Somebody look this up and typed out the fundamentals of art, a basic definition. Art is a word which summarizes the quality of communication, because communication is the universal solvent. All right. So, getting past all of this, so you can contact me if you know Ray Hadley and where he's at or what happened to him, and if you'd like a copy of his poem. There's also Mitchell Herman. Looks like Toby Sachet or Satcher, depending on how you say his name. Here's some beautiful art that Sal did. I don't know why he's the only artist in the booklet. Russell Salomon, if you know him, or Julie Iger. Evidently he wrote this for her. Here's one by Susan Goldstein, one by Davida Lamont. Here's a really long one by Joan Robertson. It's called Ode to an Awakening. If you would like me to go back and read some of these in a separate short, I can do that. Just let me know in your comments. Another piece of art by Sal. Kind of interesting. Looks a little bit like body thetans, possibly. Children. Sal was also one of the poets. Here's one called Sky Song. And Leewall for Robin and Jan of the Incredible String Band. Now, this poem and the art called Transformation was drawn by George Hegwood. So here's two pieces of poetry that I wanted to read to you for a specific reason. Star Rain. Remember climbing the galaxy stairs to Sharpelle Spar, when dreams were spun knowingly for tomorrow's play? Remember the cobwebbed suns, star rain on the roofs of time. Remember the warp in the old doors of eastern space. I lost you then, out among the looms and towers of time. I've been alone, you see, through this long span of ages uncounted. I've wandered the track and looked in the holes of this universe. When did you leave? But I follow you now, out across my reach. You there at the other end, calling, come home. Please come home. I will, now. Here's the second poem. I've Come Home is the title. Particles of affinity flowing down Ursa Minor, galaxied winds across the space of trilenia, lone souls drifting at the tides of moon, sleeping in the shadows of Jupiter. I had touched the space of your leaving, followed upon the wind trails of Saturn in the foam of colliding galaxies, starborn, Your eyes crossed my space. I turned in the space of light not yet reached and found you. Here inside you, flowing in and through your space. I've come home, you see. I've come home. The writer of these two poems, written January 23rd, 1970, is Heber Jentz. Now, Heber passed away a couple of weeks ago. It's the 21st of January, 2026. At the end of this pamphlet, I'm going to read a paragraph to you, written by a friend of mine, also a collaborator against Scientology and all that that cult conveys. This one is called A Love Experience. 1. Stranger on the subway. 2. After the stranger on the subway. 3. Now. Written by Catherine Joyce. So again, if you know these people or knew them and you'd like me to read some more of the poetry, let me know in the comments. This doesn't say who this one is by. Dalliancy. Okay. Here's another poem by Russell Salomon. And at the end of this pamphlet is a little something about what Celebrity Center is. Myron Rutterman wrote this. And he just wanted you to remember that Scientologists align themselves with the goal of total freedom for mankind. Okay, Myron. And to close, you could always fill in for $5. This is 1971, remember. And you could get a copy of Dianetics, Modern Science of Mental Health. Back then, check or money order. They didn't do credit cards, people. And here's a closing for today. When you find yourself in a trap, it's a good idea to find out what the trap consists of. So true. If you are trapped in a cult, if you are trapped in Scientology, it's a good idea to find out what the trap consists of. So I encourage you to look up things on the internet, to look up L. Ron Hubbard, to look up any of the artists that I named off today.